The loud crack of a wooden, sold sign being hammered into the front lawn echoed through the quiet neighborhood. Then came the words that shattered one man's entire world. "You don't live here anymore," his wife said with a cold smile. "Now get your pathetic things and leave before the new owners arrive." He stared at her in disbelief. The home he had spent 10 years restoring with his own hands. The home where he believed his marriage had been built on love, had been sold without him even knowing. And the greatest irony? Every single person standing there believed he was a broke handyman. Not one of them knew he secretly controlled a fortune worth over $70 billion. Before we continue, tell us in the comments where you're watching Stone Tales from today. It's always amazing seeing viewers from all over the world. And if you enjoy emotional stories filled with shocking twists, betrayal, justice, and unforgettable endings, don't forget to subscribe and become part of the Stone Tales family. Nathan Cole looked like the kind of man most people ignored. His jeans were faded. His boots were worn. His pickup truck was older than many of his neighbors' children. Every morning he left before sunrise carrying a toolbox that looked as tired as he did. People assumed he repaired houses because he couldn't afford anything better. Nathan never corrected them. He preferred silence. Silence hid truth better than expensive suits ever could. Years earlier, when Nathan was 27, his grandfather, billionaire industrialist Arthur Cole, had summoned him to a private island. Arthur had built one of the world's largest investment empires, spanning shipping, renewable energy, artificial intelligence, pharmaceuticals, luxury real estate, aerospace, and banking. The media called him the Invisible Titan because he almost never appeared in public. When Arthur died months later, the public believed his board of directors continued running everything. What nobody knew was that Arthur had quietly transferred control of the family empire into a confidential trust. Nathan became the sole beneficiary. The arrangement came with one unusual condition. For 10 years, he could not publicly claim ownership. Arthur believed power revealed true character. "If people know you're rich," Arthur once told him, "they'll love your money before they love you." Nathan honored that promise. Professional trustees managed the empire while Nathan lived an ordinary life. He received detailed reports every week. He approved billion-dollar acquisitions through encrypted meetings nobody could trace. Then he returned to fixing broken fences for elderly neighbors. It reminded him who he truly was. 5 years into that arrangement, he met Emily. She was beautiful, funny, ambitious. She worked as a real estate agent and dreamed about luxury. Nathan loved how confidently she chased success. When she asked what he did, he simply smiled. "I renovate houses," she laughed. "So you're good with your hands." "I suppose I am." Their relationship blossomed quickly. Nathan believed he'd finally found someone who loved him for himself. They married 18 months later. He never revealed the truth. Every anniversary he nearly told her. Every anniversary he stopped himself. The 10-year condition still had years remaining. Besides, he wanted certainty. He wanted to know whether Emily loved the man or the money. At first their marriage felt genuine. They cooked together, watched old movies, worked on the little house Nathan bought before they met. Emily often complained it wasn't modern enough. Nathan promised they'd renovate it one room at a time. She rolled her eyes. "Everyone else is moving into luxury neighborhoods. We'll get there." When? Soon. She didn't realize soon depended on time rather than money. Nathan could have purchased half the city. Instead, he patiently replaced kitchen cabinets himself. As the years passed, Emily changed. Or perhaps Nathan simply began seeing who she'd always been. She became obsessed with appearances. Luxury handbags, designer shoes, social media influencers, country clubs, expensive vacations they couldn't supposedly afford. Nathan noticed she spent more time comparing their lives with strangers online than enjoying the one they had built. Arguments became routine. "You have no ambition." "I'm happy." "Happy?" She laughed bitterly. "You call this living?" Nathan quietly washed the dinner dishes. She continued, "My friends' husbands are CEOs. They're good men. They buy vacation homes." Nathan smiled softly. "I'm repairing our porch this weekend." Emily slammed her wine glass onto the counter. Exactly. She stormed upstairs. Nathan remained standing in the kitchen. He wasn't hurt because she wanted wealth. He was hurt because she believed money alone measured a person's worth. Months later, he noticed something strange. Emily became unusually protective of her phone. She whispered during calls. She frequently claimed she had evening meetings with clients. One afternoon, Nathan stopped by her office carrying lunch. The receptionist looked confused. Emily? Yes. She left hours ago. She said she had appointments. The receptionist hesitated. I don't think she had any today. Nathan thanked her politely. He drove away without asking more questions. Trust, once questioned, becomes fragile. That evening, Emily returned wearing a designer dress Nathan had never seen before. How was work? He asked. Busy. She kissed his cheek. He noticed expensive men's cologne lingering on her jacket. He said nothing. Weeks later, he accidentally discovered unopened credit card statements, hidden beneath clothing inside her closet. The balances totaled nearly $300,000. Luxury jewelry, private resorts, high-end restaurants. Nathan quietly paid every cent the next morning without telling her. Not because he wanted to encourage the behavior, because he refused to let debt destroy them. Emily never knew. Instead of gratitude, her complaints became harsher. You'll never become anything. Nathan simply answered, I already am. She mistook the sentence for optimism. Only Nathan understood how literally true it was. One rainy Saturday afternoon, Nathan returned home earlier than expected. Voices echoed inside. He opened the front door. Emily immediately ended her conversation. Across the dining room sat a sharply dressed man wearing an expensive watch. He smiled confidently. Nathan, this is Victor. Victor extended his hand. Pleasure. Nathan shook it. Emily quickly explained, Victor's helping me expand my real estate network. Nathan nodded. Victor's eyes wandered around the house with unusual interest. Nice property. Nathan smiled politely. It has good memories. Victor laughed. It also has excellent resale value. Nathan noticed Emily stiffen. The comment lingered awkwardly. After Victor left, Nathan asked gently, why was he discussing resale value? Emily shrugged. Professional habit. Nathan wasn't convinced. Still, he chose peace over confrontation. 3 months later, everything changed. Nathan woke early to repair a broken gate. Emily had already left. Around noon, his neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, hurried across the street looking distressed. Nathan, what happened? I thought you knew. Knew what? There are people at your house. Nathan frowned. What people? Moving trucks. He dropped his hammer. Within minutes, he raced home. 3 large moving vans blocked the driveway. Workers carried furniture outside. A luxury SUV sat beside the curb. Nathan jumped from his truck. What is happening? A foreman checked paperwork. You must be the former owner. Former owner? Yes. Nathan laughed nervously. There must be some mistake. Before anyone answered, Emily stepped outside wearing designer sunglasses. She looked remarkably calm. Oh, you're home. Nathan stared at her. Emily, what is this? She crossed her arms. I sold the house. Silence. Even the movers stopped lifting boxes. Nathan blinked. You what? I sold it. You can't sell our home without talking to me. I already did. She pulled documents from a folder. You signed power of attorney papers years ago. Nathan remembered. During tax season, she had bundled dozens of documents together. He had trusted her completely. She had hidden the authorization among them. His stomach sank. You tricked me. I was efficient. Nathan looked around. Our home. Our marriage. Our life. Emily laughed. Our life. She stepped closer. You mean your tiny dreams? Nathan could barely breathe. Then another luxury vehicle arrived. A smiling couple stepped out. Emily greeted them warmly. Congratulations. The house is officially yours, Nathan realized. These were the buyers. The husband looked uncomfortable. I didn't know someone still lived here. Emily smiled. He'll be gone. Nathan stared at her. Emily? She interrupted loudly enough for everyone nearby to hear. I've spent years carrying a man with no future. People began watching from neighboring homes. Nathan felt dozens of eyes upon him. Emily continued. He repairs broken sinks. He drives junk. He thinks replacing roof shingles is an achievement. Soft laughter spread among a few onlookers. Nathan remained silent. She wasn't finished. I finally realized something. You can't build a future with someone who refuses to become successful. Victor stepped from another vehicle. Nathan's eyes narrowed. Victor wrapped an arm comfortably around Emily's waist. Everything suddenly made sense. The secret meetings, the late nights, the cologne. Victor smiled. No hard feelings. Emily leaned against him. We're moving into his penthouse. Nathan slowly looked from one face to another. Years of trust, gone. Years of sacrifice, gone. Years of believing love mattered more than wealth, gone. Emily pointed toward the sidewalk. Take whatever clothes belong to you. The buyers don't want delays. Nathan looked at the home one final time. Every room contained memories. The nursery they once planned. The tree he planted for their anniversary. The porch swing he built by hand. None of it seemed to matter anymore. One mover quietly approached Nathan. I'm sorry. Nathan nodded. It's not your fault. He bent down and picked up a single worn toolbox. The same toolbox people had laughed at for years. Emily smirked. That's all you have left. Nathan looked directly into her eyes. No. His voice remained calm. That's all I'm taking. She laughed again. Victor laughed with her. The buyers exchanged uneasy glances. Nathan turned away and walked toward his old pickup truck. Just as he reached the driver's door, his encrypted satellite phone vibrated inside the toolbox. Only 3 people in the world possessed that number. He answered. This is Nathan. A familiar voice spoke urgently. Sir, the trustees have completed the final transfer. Nathan's expression changed for the first time all day. The 10-year restriction has officially ended. The caller paused. You are now legally recognized as the sole public owner of every Cole Global asset. Nathan slowly looked back toward Emily. Still laughing in front of the house she believed had ruined him. The trustee spoke again. Mr. Cole, the board has gathered. They're waiting for their chairman. Nathan's grip tightened on the phone. He took one long look at the woman who believed she had just destroyed his life. Then he quietly whispered, It's time they finally learned who I really am. Nathan ended the call without another word. He climbed into his old pickup truck and drove away, not because he had nowhere to go, but because he needed a few moments to bury the man Emily thought she knew. For 10 years, he had hidden behind dusty boots, faded jeans, and a toolbox. That chapter was over. 30 minutes later, Nathan's truck stopped in front of a private airport. The security guard immediately recognized him. Welcome back, Mr. Cole. Nathan simply nodded. Within minutes, a sleek black helicopter lifted into the sky. As the city shrank beneath him, he looked down at the neighborhood where his marriage had ended. He didn't feel hatred. He felt disappointment. His grandfather had been right. Money never changed people. It only revealed who they already were. Meanwhile, Emily was celebrating. Victor poured champagne inside his penthouse. You finally got rid of him. Emily laughed. I should have done it years ago. Victor smiled. To new beginnings. They clinked glasses. Emily looked around the luxurious apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. Italian marble floors reflected the afternoon sun. A grand piano stood in one corner. This, Emily whispered, is the life I deserve. Victor grinned. And it's only the beginning. Neither of them knew the beginning they imagined would become the ending they feared. The helicopter landed on the roof of Cole Global Headquarters. 120. Stories of glass and steel towered. Above the financial district, employees stood in perfect rows. The moment Nathan stepped out, every executive lowered their head. Welcome home, Chairman. Nathan had not heard those words publicly in 10 years. The boardroom doors opened. 30 of the world's most influential business leaders stood. No one sat before he did. One by one, billion-dollar reports appeared across the table. Congratulations, Mr. Cole. The transition is complete. Nathan listened quietly. The chief financial officer smiled. Your current net worth, based on today's market value. He paused. $72.4 billion. The room applauded softly. Nathan did not. He wasn't thinking about the fortune. He was thinking about a woman who believed she had left a failure. Across town, Emily received a phone call from her bank. "Mrs. Cole? This is Emily. We're calling regarding several recent transfers." "What transfers?" "The mortgage payoff on your former residence." Emily frowned. "It was paid off years ago. Our records show someone anonymously cleared every remaining balance over the past 3 years." Emily blinked. "What?" "There are also large payments covering your credit cards." She looked confused. "I never paid those." "We know. They were paid by someone else." Emily slowly lowered the phone. Victor looked up. "What happened?" She forced a smile. "Nothing." But for the first time, a small crack appeared in her confidence. Nathan spent the following week rebuilding his public identity. Magazine covers, television interviews, financial conferences. The world finally discovered the mysterious owner of Cole Global. News anchors called him the billionaire who lived like an ordinary man. Social media exploded. People couldn't believe someone worth over $70 billion had spent a decade repairing fences and renovating homes. His story inspired millions. Emily never watched the news. She was too busy shopping. Until, one morning, Victor walked into the living room looking pale. "Emily." "What?" "You need to see this." He handed her a business magazine. The cover stopped her breathing. There stood Nathan, perfectly tailored suit, confident smile. Behind him, the unmistakable skyline from Cole Global headquarters. The headline read, "The secret billionaire who hid his fortune for 10 years." Emily laughed nervously. "That's fake." Victor wasn't smiling. He turned on the television. Every channel showed the same story. Chairman Nathan Cole officially assumes public leadership of the $72 billion Cole Global empire. Emily's champagne glass slipped from her hand. It shattered across the marble floor. "No!" Victor stared at the screen. "No!" The reporter continued. Friends describe Nathan Cole as remarkably humble. Sources say even his closest neighbors believed he lived paycheck to paycheck. Emily couldn't breathe. Every argument, every insult, every cruel word returned at once. She remembered calling him a failure. She remembered mocking his truck. She remembered laughing while he carried his toolbox away. Her knees weakened. Victor whispered. "You were married to him?" Emily slowly nodded. Victor's face lost all color. The next morning, Victor's phone rang. His largest investor, then another, and another. Each conversation lasted less than 2 minutes. "What? You're pulling out?" "But why?" One answer remained consistent. "We don't do business with people who publicly humiliate Nathan Cole." By sunset, Victor had lost over 60% of his funding. Within 2 weeks, banks froze expansion loans. Major partners canceled contracts. No one wanted to be associated with a man the world's most respected billionaire could destroy with a single sentence. Nathan never made that sentence. He didn't need to. His reputation spoke for itself. Emily became desperate. She called Nathan. No answer. She texted. Nothing. She emailed. Silence. Finally, she appeared outside Cole Global headquarters. Security stopped her immediately. "I need to see my husband." One guard looked uncomfortable. "I'm sorry. Mr. Cole isn't accepting personal visitors." "I'm his wife." The guard quietly checked his tablet. Former wife. Emily froze. The divorce papers had arrived that morning. Already signed. Already processed. She hadn't even realized Nathan had filed. She burst into tears. "Please, I just want 5 minutes." The guard received a message through his earpiece. He nodded. "Mr. Cole will give you exactly 5." Emily entered the executive office. The room overlooked the entire city. Nathan stood beside the windows. He didn't turn around immediately. When he finally faced her, he looked exactly like the man she married. Only now the world finally saw what had always been there. Quiet confidence. Dignity. Strength. Emily burst into tears. "Nathan!" "I'm sorry. I made the biggest mistake of my life." Nathan listened. "I didn't know." She cried harder. If I had known, Nathan gently interrupted. I know. Silence filled the room. Emily realized what she had just admitted. She hadn't said, I loved you. She had said, I didn't know. Nathan smiled sadly. That's exactly why we're here. She wiped her eyes. I can change. You already did. I'll leave Victor. You already chose. It meant nothing. Nathan walked toward his desk. From a drawer, he removed a small wooden box. Emily recognized it instantly. Their anniversary box. Inside were handwritten letters they had promised to open together after 25 years of marriage. Nathan placed it in front of her. I never opened them. Neither did she. He nodded toward the box. Take it. She shook her head. No, it belongs to us, Nathan answered quietly. There is no us anymore. She reached for his hand. He stepped back. Not with anger. With peace. You sold more than a house that day. You sold trust. And trust. He paused. Yuri cannot be bought back. Emily sobbed uncontrollably. I still love you. Nathan looked into her eyes. I believe you love the man standing in this office. He glanced toward the window. But you couldn't love the man carrying a toolbox. Her silence confirmed everything. Nathan pressed a button on his desk. His assistant opened the door. It's time, Emily whispered. Is this goodbye? Nathan nodded once. I genuinely hope you find the happiness you were searching for. She walked toward the door. Halfway there, she looked back. Nathan had already returned to work. Not because she meant nothing, but because he had finally learned to value himself. Months passed. Victor declared bankruptcy. The luxury penthouse was sold. The expensive cars disappeared. Most of the friends who surrounded Emily vanished. Without wealth, without status, without influence, she discovered how lonely, shallow relationships could become. Nathan, meanwhile, quietly expanded charitable projects around the world. He built schools, hospitals, scholarship programs, affordable housing. He invested billions helping communities that would never know his name. One afternoon, Nathan visited the old neighborhood. The couple who bought his former house welcomed him warmly. We've kept the porch swing. Nathan smiled. I'm glad. Children played beneath the tree he planted years ago. Life had continued, exactly as it should. As he prepared to leave, Mrs. Henderson walked over. I always knew there was something special about you. Nathan laughed. I just fixed fences. She smiled knowingly. No, you fixed people. A year later, Nathan attended the opening of a children's learning center funded entirely by the Cole Foundation. Hundreds gathered. A little boy tugged on his jacket. Mr. Nathan knelt. Yes? My mom says you're rich. Nathan smiled. She might be right. The boy asked, Then why are you wearing the same old watch? Nathan looked at the scratched watch his grandfather had given him. It's the most valuable thing I own. The boy frowned. It doesn't look expensive. Nathan smiled warmly. That's because the most valuable things usually aren't. As applause filled the building, Nathan looked toward the sunset. His grandfather's words echoed in his heart once again. If people know you're rich, they'll love your money before they love you. Nathan finally understood the lesson completely. Real wealth wasn't measured by billions. It was measured by character, by loyalty, by kindness shown when no one was watching. Emily had spent years chasing luxury and lost everything that truly mattered. Nathan had spent years living simply and discovered the one treasure no fortune could ever replace: peace. And sometimes, the greatest revenge isn't making those who hurt you suffer. It's becoming so happy that their betrayal no longer has the power to hurt you.